can you like tell us like why do these feelings sort of originate according to you, and like why is it such a taboo to talk about money, right?
Well, it's a great question. Like, why? We need to look at that anytime there's something that confuses you. Like, why can't I talk to my friends about how much we make and whether or not I can afford to go on this vacation with them? And really, it's just because society tells us that we need to be hush hush about money. And mostly because, who does that benefit if the rest of us don't talk
Mm-hmm.
about it? It always ends up benefiting the elite and the wealthy. And so most financial systems are actually built for the average person to fail. And I think as soon as we start talking about money and making money more comfortable, it quickly becomes this realization that, oh, it's actually not as scary as it seems. I hear a lot of like some of my best friends in the community call finance pale and male. That's exactly what it is. It's like very male dominated, very overwhelming and intimidating. And a lot of us are just trying to break down those walls, make it more accessible, make it more fun, because it doesn't have to be this taboo.
Yeah, I think like, gender norms have to have a role to play in this. Like, since you were a child, at least growing up in India, I always saw my dad dealing with the taxes and all the money stuff. And how was it for you, like growing up? Did you see parity in terms of your parents making money decisions together, or was it something where your dad used to make most of the decisions?
Very similar to you. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for the most of my earlier years. And then when she did find a job, it was more just for her to get back into the business, not necessarily to make money. So my dad was always the breadwinner. He actually gave my mom an allowance, which now would give me a
Mm-hmm.
massive ick if I were to see someone else in a relationship experiencing that, because it is like one person's in control of all of the money.
Mm.
And I'm very much of the belief system, and in my household, it's very much about equity and making sure that everybody contributes their share financially and otherwise and has the same decision making power. Like, there is no power imbalance in my household today because I saw that growing up. And so I think it's totally it happens with whatever household you grew up in, right? That is how you view money. Those are money scripts, they call them, which are these just invisible scripts that you hold, or beliefs that you hold about money that may not necessarily be true, but because that's how you were raised, that's how you
Mm-hmm.
still see money and view money in adulthood.
Right. I think I can think from my childhood, like my dad eating from outside used to be like a big thing. Like, we're spending money, we can like make food at home, and I think that's a big theme in India as well. So maybe that's why even ordering Uber Eats now, I get like anxiety where I'm like, should I just go to the kitchen, do something, make something, or should I really need to spend $20 on Uber Eats right now, or something like that. So can you give me some examples from your life or things you've seen around yourself where these money scripts are like in play, where there's some certain situations in childhood that you face, and then now you have these beliefs in your mind which are really hard to get rid of?
Well, one of the most common things that'll happen is anyone that grows up in poverty tends to have a very strong scarcity mindset
Mm.
that is really, really hard to break when you enter adulthood. And it actually tends to lead to a lot of guilt, which is maybe what you're describing with the, like, I can't do fast food. I have food at home. That's crazy
Mm-hmm.
for me to go and treat myself when I would just be spending money unnecessarily. A lot of the times that's that scarcity mindset that makes us feel this financial guilt, because when you're so obsessed with that period in your life when you didn't have something, you can't focus on anything.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Go Girl podcast. For more such inspiring conversations, do not forget to subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at Japnet Ahuja. Until next time, keep being unstoppable. You go, girl.